شفا بگیره این سینه زنی ها پشت درب سردار حقین اول پس دل زینبیه این نگاه ارباب بغیر من سائر مدد آقام حسین و کرم آقام اول پس
بین الحرمین و حرم آقام حسین و حرم آقام اول پس.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآله الطاهرين. Respected scholars, elders, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We've assembled here to commemorate the anniversary of this great tragedy of Karbala. The Imams of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam have urged us to remind ourselves, to mourn, to weep, to lament, and beyond that also to declare our bay'ah and our commitment to follow the guidance and the teachings of the Imams of the Ahlul Bayt. Beyond that, we need to learn to dissociate ourselves with the evil actors and agents who are against the truth and justice for which the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam stood for. And ultimately, we need to make our determination that we will join the army that will defend the truth and fight against injustice. Ya laytani kuntu ma'ahum fa'afuza fawzan 'azima. Tonight being the eve of Friday, if we want to appreciate the message of Karbala as it displayed the teachings of the Quran, and as Imam Hussein alayhi salam was the warith of the Quran, consider this surah which is recommended to be recited on the eve of Friday, and that is Surah Al-Kahf. The sixth holy Imam says that man qara'a Surah Al-Kahf kulla laylati jumu'ah, whosoever recites Surah Kahf on the eve of Friday, lam yamut illa shaheedan, he shall die as a shaheed. وَيَبْعَثُهُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الشُّهَدَاءِ, on the day of judgment he shall be raised amongst the shuhada. وَوَقَفَ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ مَعَ الشُّهَدَاءِ, and in the presence of God he shall be grouped in the category of the shuhada. This surah is amazing, therefore, in that the reciter who can understand its meaning and then apply it to his life, even though he may not have participated in the physical battlefield, but he will still get the thawab of a shaheed. So therefore, those who did go to Karbala definitely applied the message of Surah Kahf. Observe, Surah Kahf revolves around this fundamental truth about the dunya, that beware, don't be trapped in the dunya. And if you look for the temporary superficial success and the glitter of the dunya, you will be a failure. So in the beginning part of the surah, Allah condemns the kafir that he is rejecting the truth because he's attracted to the dunya. And then ayah number 9 to 16, the story of the people of Kahf is mentioned, in that how this world is just temporary and how Qiyamah is permanent and definite, and it is going to come. And see what happened to this group of companions who were made to go to sleep for 300 plus years, and they were brought back to life as a display of God's power over revival. And therefore, in the third part of the surah, ayah number 27 onwards, Allah then tells the messenger, therefore, your duty is to receive the message and to deliver the message. And one of the core messages of the Quran is about the worthlessness of the dunya. Keep with the good companions, avoid the evil companions. Educate them about the fate and the consequence of the kafir and the mu'min. Give them the parable of those people who owned 2 gardens and how one got so proud because of his possessions and fruits and thought that there is no God and there is no account and therefore he could do whatever he wanted. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, that garden and all its fruits were destroyed. And then suddenly he realized there's a power greater than himself. Give them the example also of the temporary nature of the dunya, O Prophet. Just like a dead earth, water comes down, plants grow. It's beautiful. The garden is lush and full. And then over time, it withers away and disappears. That's the life of this dunya. And tell them the danger of the devil and warn them about submitting themselves to the idols, that they are powerless, they are senseless. How can you talk to them? How can you expect anything from them? Anyone, anything other than God. And warn them the fate that awaits them should they ignore these warnings of the Quran. And the dunya, don't think it's just this temporary, superficial display of power and success and riches. No, there's a higher reality. Ayah number 60 to ayah number 82. Look at the case of Musa alayhi salam as the Ulul Azm prophet of his time, looking for an even closer man to God, Khidr, who then teaches him the secrets of how Allah is governing the universe. And then ayah number 83 to 102, you want to see the temporary nature of this dunya. Look at the story of Zulqarnain, a godly king, how Allah helps him and defeats the kafir of his time. And ultimately the surah ends by saying that, so don't depend on the dunya. Depend on the higher master who created the dunya and who has created a world much greater than the dunya. Hope in him, attach to him, rely in him, believe in him, and obey his commands. That's the core message of Surah Kahf. But notice how it plays out in Karbala. In ayah number 9, Allah says, أَمْ حَسِبْتَ أَنَّ أَصْحَابَ الْكَهْفِ وَالرَّقِيمِ كَانُوا مِنْ آيَاتِنَا عَجَبًا. Do you think, O Prophet, and tell these disbelievers who are questioning you because this story may have appeared in the other scriptures and they want to challenge you, tell them you find this as a strange, wonderful, miraculous sign of God. Oh, God has many other signs. This is just one example of them. And then ayah number 10 gives a summary of that story. What happened to the Ashab al-Kahf? إِذْ أَوَى الْفِتْيَةُ إِلَى الْكَهْفِ. Remember the time when this group of youth, young people, took shelter in a cave, because in the city they could not live a comfortable life. They were being tortured, they were being persecuted, they were being forced to reject God and to submit to the idols. فَقَالُوا. So the only solution they could think of is to remove themselves from society. So they prayed to the Lord, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا مِن لَدُنْكَ رَحْمَةً. Oh Allah, give us your special grace and mercy. Give us salvation from this persecution. وَهَيِّئْ لَنَا مِنْ أَمْرِنَا رَشَدًا. We're confused. We want to obey you, but it's difficult. Show us, inspire us, reveal to us what is right and righteous so that we should follow that. Karbala is also the same story. They were being forced to obey powers other than God, and therefore they turned away. Ashab al-Kahf went to the cave. Ashab Karbala came to Karbala. Ayah number 11 then says, then we made them go to sleep, and number 12 says, then we raised them back again. Ayah number 13 says, let me explain to you a little more in detail what happened. نَحْنُ نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ نَبَأَهُمْ بِالْحَقِّ. We will tell you the qissa of Ashab al-Kahf, بِالْحَقِّ, based on truth. And these are fundamental truths, the laws which govern the universe. You ignore them, you will suffer. إِنَّهُمْ فِتْيَةٌ. This was a small group of youth, آمنوا بربهم. They developed true, genuine, sincere faith and belief in the true master of the universe. They were not impressed and distracted by the glitters of the superficial power of the little gods on the earth. وَزِدْنَاهُمْ هُدًى. Once we saw this sincere submission to the truth, we gave them more hidayah, we gave them basira, we gave them a deeper insight and inspiration of what to do in those difficult times. So how so? وَرَبَّطْنَا عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ. We took control of their hearts, we strengthened their hearts, we emboldened them, we encouraged them. They became brave. How so? إِذْ قَامُوا. And this was when they made qiyam. They did not sit at home passively accepting the status quo of evil powers deciding the fate of the society. They said, no, we can't accept evil. We will stand up against it. We will speak up to power. إِذْ قَامُوا فَقَالُوا رَبُّنَا رَبُّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Our Lord, our Master, our Governor, our lawmaker, our guide, our protector is not you, the human little God. No, it's Allah, the creator, sustainer, provider, protector of the heavens and the earth. لَن نَدْعُوَ مِن دُونِهِ إِلَهًا. We shall never ever turn to any power other than Him. لَقَدْ قُلْنَا إِذًا شَطَطًا. If ever we were to turn away from God, the true master of the universe, that would have been a blasphemous, atrocious, tremendous error and lie. It's a creature who is senseless, who is powerless, cannot be the source of authority over my life. That's the core message of Karbala also. Why is it that they rejected the corrupt rulers' demand that you must make bay'ah to us? This is the core reason. هَؤُلَاءِ قَوْمُنَا اتَّخَذُوا مِن دُونِهِ آلِهَةً. These people, they know there is a God, they know God has sent a message, they know that these rulers are disobeying the message, yet they obey the rulers and they disobey the message. They are doing shirk. لَوْلَا يَأْتُونَ عَلَيْهِمْ بِسُلْطَانٍ بَيِّنٍ. Well, why don't they prove to us the legitimacy of the power that they have? فَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنِ افْتَرَى عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا. Who is more wrongful and a wrongdoer than he who ascribes lies to God, who deprives God from what He deserves and ascribes those godly qualities to the non-godly actors and players. This is the core message of Karbala. But for me, what's interesting is tonight we're going to commemorate the memory of Habib bin Madahir al-Asadi. Habib, I would like to look at him as an example of a companion who was elderly. He's supposed to be an octogenarian, about 80 plus years old, a companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the year 60, he was 80 years old. But in Karbala, he was not the only old man. There were several others. Burayr bin Khudayr, Anas bin Harith al-Asadi, and before Karbala in Kufa, Hani bin Urwa, Abdullah bin Yaqtur. There is a good number of elderly people who were present in Karbala. And the interesting thing is, in the tafsir of this ayah, which says that in the story of the people and the companion of the caves, there was a group that rose up and spoke to power and resisted them. Fitya, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, does not only refer to young people, it also refers to old people who are young at heart. Imam alayhi salam asks one reporter, so you tell me, who is Fitya? He says, Fitya, I understand it to mean the youth. He says, no. Man amana billahi wattaqa huwa al-fata. You have true faith in the true God and you are God-fearing and God-obedient, you are fitya. There may be a youth, young in age, but doesn't accept God, doesn't respect God. No, he's not true youth. He's a slave of Satan. He's a slave of his own desires. So this ayah also is referring to the elderly who were present in Karbala. But there's a problem. We need to address that problem, and that is the normal development of the human being is such that as he grows older, he grows weaker. His physical, his mental abilities, they begin to decline. وَمَنْ نُعَمِّرْهُ نُنَكِّسْهُ فِي الْخَلْقِ أَفَلَا يَعْقِلُونَ. And whosoever gets a long life, nunakkis, we reverse. You know, the Arabs, they call nakasa, this huge merry-go-round. What is on the top then comes to the bottom. This elderly person, gradually as he's growing older and older, he goes down to the stage just like a child, weak in his abilities, both physical and mental. nunakkisuhu fil khalqi. His bones become thinner, he begins to suffer from osteoporosis and maybe fractures of the bones, his heart begins to weaken, his brain begins to decline, forgetfulness, stomach problems, the muscles in the stomach are not working, constipation becomes a problem, teeth are decaying, senses, vision, hearing, even smell and taste, they all change over time, over age. The skin loses its freshness and elasticity, begins to sag and wrinkle. أَفَلَا يَعْقِلُونَ. Why don't they ponder and reflect that there is no time? Everybody is aging. If you want to come back to the truth, now is the time. It'll be too late later on. And don't blame God, there was not enough time. How come you're so old? There was enough time, my friend. It's God's power. He shows the cycle. You grow from weakness, become a strong young adult, and then you begin to grow old again. أَفَلَا يَعْقِلُونَ. Lakini, Karbala doesn't follow this example. Karbala, these 80-year-olds, 70-year-olds were not weak with breaking bones and fracturing bones and loss of vision and couldn't carry a sword and couldn't speak to the public and dementia and forgetfulness. And no. These elderly who were in Karbala were a different class of elderly. Question, how come? Answer. Surah Teen. وَالتِّينِ وَالزَّيْتُونِ وَطُورِ سِينِينَ وَهَذَا الْبَلَدِ الْأَمِينَ لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. We have created man in the best of the composition and constitution, both physically and mentally and emotionally and spiritually. We gave him the best of the faculties to be able to receive the truth, understand the truth, live by the truth. ثُمَّ رَدَّدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ سَافِلِينَ. And then, depending on how they use their faculties, we begin to make them decline and go down and low till they reach the lowest of the low. All of them? No. إِلَّا except الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ فَلَهُمْ أَجْرٌ غَيْرُ مَمْنُونَ. Except for those who have accepted the truth, Iman, and who have lived by the truth, Amal Salih. No, for them there's a great reward, and the reward begins here in the dunya. They are protected from the declining effects of old age. You want proof of that? Karbala. Ibn Abbas says, you want to know how a person can be protected from the effects of aging. The secret is the Quran. Man qara al-Quran lam yurad ila arzal al-umur. Whosoever recites the Quran and therefore understands it and therefore applies it, he will not decline. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu, look at what scientists are telling us now about how to prevent dementia and the health problems of old age. They're telling us, you know, you have to live a life where you avoid smoking, for example, or alcohol. They tell you, have a good diet. They tell you, have good regular exercise. They tell you, have frequent medical checkups. They tell you, connect with your relatives and have a good social support. What is this other than amal salih? For mental sharpness, to protect from dementia, they say, keep your brain active, engage, stimulate yourself, read, have a hobby, develop a new skill, writing, playing a game, volunteer work. Challenge the brain. The brain should be growing different cells all the time, not cells, connections all the time. And they've discovered recently what is known as neuroplasticity. The brain has the power to regenerate, to develop new habits anytime, even old age. And they say, well, when you read something, repeat again. And rehearse what you have read. And they say, believe that you can do it. Don't lose confidence. And they say, challenge all your senses. Don't only use your eyes, but try to engage all your senses, your ears and your smell and your taste, as you're learning, as you're exploring, as you're bringing all stimuli. Tell me, is not Karbala an example of exactly what these people are saying right now? Observe. One of the companions, the elderly person who was in Karbala, is Burayr. Burayr bin Khudayr. He is known as Sayyidul Qurra, the chief and the elite among the reciters and the teachers of Quran. Simple person. Used to teach and recite the Quran in the central mosque in Kufa. Brave man, devoted in the worship of God. In the event of Karbala, he left Kufa much early, right at the time when Imam Hussein alayhi salam was in Mecca. Others were writing letters. He went himself to Mecca and joined Imam Hussein alayhi salam. On the day of Ashura, on the eve of Ashura, when Imam alayhi salam tells the companions that this battle is between me and them, you can all go away, the first person who stood up, he was there to declare his loyalty before all the other companions. And on the day of Ashura, brave, eloquent old man, he goes and speaks to them to try to advise them. In fact, on the eve of Ashura, it's reported that one of the survivors said that I noticed that he was cracking jokes. And I said, Burayr, this is not the night for jokes. And he says, Wallahi laqad alima qawmi anni ma ahbabtu al-batila kahlan wala shabban. All the people who know me, they know my past. Neither as a youth, nor in my adulthood, nor in my old age do I like to make jokes. I don't engage in humor. I'm a serious person. إنما أفعل ذلك استبشارا بما نصير إليه. Imam Hussein alayhi salam has already told us what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm overjoyed. I'm overjoyed. فَوَاللَّهِ مَا هُوَ إِلَّا أَن نَلْقَ هَؤُلَاءِ الْقَوْمِ بِأَسْيَافِنَا. It's just a matter of time. We just have to meet them with our swords. And then we go to Jannah. You tell me an old man gets depressed. He hasn't understood the Quran. He hasn't got Imam Hussein alayhi salam. No depression for an old man possible. Burayr was enjoying himself on the eve of Ashura. Comes to the battlefield, launches an attack. اقتربوا مني يا قتلة المؤمنين يا قتلة أولاد البدريين يا قتلة أولاد رسول رب العالمين وذريته الباقين. Come and fight me. You are the killers of the true believers. Come and fight me. You are the killers of our companions who are there in Badr. Remember, he's a companion from the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Come to me. You are the killers of now the family of the Prophet. Very clear. Ana Burayru wa Abi Khudayru. If you don't know me, let me introduce myself. I'm Burayr, my father is Khudayr. يعرف فينا الخير أهل الخير أضربكم ولا أرى من ضيري كذلك فعل الخير من بريري. Old man, well, very sharp, can compose a poetry which scares the enemy. Yet another old man who was there in Karbala, before I talk about Habib, is a person known as Anas. Anas bin Harith al-Kahili, a companion from the Prophet's time. According to some reports, he even engaged in the battles during the Prophet's time. If you have engaged in the battle of in the Prophet's time, that means you are baligh. Minimum, he must have been 20 years plus. And in 60 AH, he must have been 70 or so. Unfortunately, we don't have much history about him. But one interesting thing, he heard one hadith from the Prophet as a companion. إن ابني هذا يقتل بأرض يقال لها كربلاء. He heard the Prophet say, this son of mine, Hussein, he shall be killed in a land called Karbala. فَمَنْ شَهِدَ ذَلِكَ مِنْكُمْ فَلْيَنْصُرْهُ. Whosoever is present and alive at that time, you must go and help and participate and join him. Anas, one of the history books, Ibn Sa'd in his Tabaqat says that I met a person who says, me and my father, we lived near Karbala. We used to pass by there, we used to see this man sometimes there. And we asked him, oh, what are you doing here all alone? He says, I heard the Prophet. He says, Hussein will be killed here. I'm waiting for that time. I don't know, how do you explain this old man? We don't have much from him in his whole life, except that he heard this one hadith, and for him that was his goal in life. I want to be there when Hussein is there. And finally we come to Habib, octogenarian, 80 plus, old man, but brave, strong, dedicated. Habib from Kufa, strong companion not only of the Prophet but of Imam Ali alayhi salam and Imam Hassan and now Imam Hussein. He participated in the battles of Jamal and Siffin and Nahrawan. He was counted as amongst the elite, closest companions of Imam. Imam alayhi salam had a strike force, not a task force, strike force, which could be summoned on immediate notice. Brave individuals, the Shurtatul Khamis. Habib was a member of that strike force. How else do you explain this man? فَضَّلَ اللَّهُ الْمُجَاهِدِينَ عَلَى الْقَاعِدِينَ دَرَجَةً. There are two types of mujahid. There are those who will only do jihad when it is wajib. They are qa'ideen. When the time comes, they will rise. But there are others who are ready even for the mustahab. Allah gives more reward to those who do the mustahab versus the wajib only. Habib was amongst those. In the event of Karbala, the moment he came to know Imam Hussein alayhi salam has made his decision to leave Medina towards Makkah, that was the signal he was waiting for. As-sabiqun, as-sabiqun, ulaika al-muqarrabun. The first man who responded to Hussein alayhi salam, Habib. This man lived the Quran. He was watching, where is the truth? How do I defend the truth? How do I live according to the truth? And he began his movement in Kufa to solicit, to invite people, come and make bay'ah to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And of course, as Surah Kahf tells us, there are some people who begin to get so close to the chosen servants of God, they begin to learn the secrets of the universe. Majority don't know. Khidr told Musa alayhi salam how Allah runs the universe from behind the curtain. How Allah has agents, human agents, non-physical agents, angels, how they are running the universe. Who should die when? How should they die? Who should get rizq when? Sometimes bala should come to some people, but as a protection from a bigger bala. All these secrets were taught to Khidr. Same secrets were being taught to Habib is known as the one who had ilmul balaya wal manaya. He knew the hidden secrets which Rushayd al-Hajri also knew, and Maytham al-Tammar. But I would like to draw your attention to the contribution that he made in Karbala itself. When he arrives in Karbala, and as he sees the mobilization of this huge number of army assembling against Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he seeks permission. He was Asadi, he was from the Bani Asad. Habib bin Mudahir al-Asadi, he says, allow me to go to a nearby tribe of Bani Asad. I will solicit assistance from them. He goes there and he tries to invite, and he tells them, listen, which is better than the invitation and the opportunity to come and help the grandson of the Prophet, and in return you will get the highest honor. About 100 or so from the Bani Asad people accepted his invitation. But typically Bani Asad had two types of people. There was Habib bin Madahir Asadi, there was Hurmala Asadi also. They were traitors between Bani Asad. They went and informed Umar Sa'd. There is a recruitment taking place for Hussein amongst the Bani Asad. Immediately Umar Sa'd sends a posse of about 400 or so people. A little battle takes place between these 100 or so and those 400, and they withdraw. Bani Asad within the night time, they disappear to protect their lives. Habib bin Madahir comes back to Imam Hussein alayhi salam and says, I failed in my task. Imam says, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. May Allah reward you for your attempts. Habib, an 80-year-old man. There were many other who were young, but he was made as a commander. Imam Hussein alayhi salam arrayed his military, Maymana, Maysara, Qalb. Maysara, the left flank, was under the commandership of Habib bin Madahir. Finally, he seeks permission to go and confront the army. Ana Habibu wa abi mudhhar, farisu hayja wa harbun tas'ar, wa antum inda al-adidi akthar, nahnu a'la hujjatan wa azhar, wa antum inda al-wafa aghdar, wa nahnu awfa minkum wa asbar. Amazing. He summarizes the whole reason why there are two armies, why one Bani Asad is here, Habib, another Bani Asad is there, Hurmula. The reason, he says, if you don't know me, I'm Habib, the brave horseman. Look at my past history. You are bigger in number, but we are more loyal, more submissive to the truth, more ready to defend the truth. We have more powerful reasons to accept the truth. You have no reasons to accept your evil rulers. We are more enduring and strong and patient and determined. You are driven by fear and money. That's the summary of Karbala. Same story repeats itself for Habib also, that he was also seen to be happy just before the battle, or the eve before the battle. And when he's asked, he says, well, it's just a few moments before Jannah. Allow me just to remind ourselves of one ayah in the Quran which perhaps could explain the reason for this joy. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, ayah number 107 of Surah Kahf. كَانَتْ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتُ الْفِرْدَوْسِ نُزُلًا. Those who believe in the truth and are ready to defend it and die for it, Allah will give them Jannah. No. In Jannah, the highest, Firdaus. In the Firdaus, Khalidina fiha, la yabghuna anha hiwala. And once they reach there, they will never ever wish to be shifted out and transferred and moved and replaced. It's the best of the highest possible for any human being. You want to know the core motive that activated the people in Karbala, and especially the elderly generation, the Quran. Let's pray to Allah for tawfiq to be able to bring the Quran into our lives, whereby we give ourselves not only physical health, but emotional health and mental health and spiritual health. Assalamu ala al-Husayn wa ala Ali ibn al-Husayn wa ala awlad al-Husayn wa ala ashab al-Husayn jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.